bit of a recap from the game. I do think was proud of how the offensive unit started in the game, getting the ball the first possession. That was the plan, and I think the players executed well. We started slow on defense, probably for the first time this year, and dug a little bit of a hole. We did not play complementary throughout the entire game. We won the explosive battle. A&M won the turnover battle by 1. I do think the significant areas, in my opinion, are the rushing battle, 74 to 183, and then havoc rate was a big deal, right? I think that we struggled to create negative plays, no TFLs, no sacks, and then they obviously had 6 TFLs and affected our quarterback, sacked us a couple times in several hurries. Third down was a battle. We were average 9.5 yard distance, and they were average 4.5. So they kept third down manageable, and ultimately that allowed them to protect their quarterback and affect ours. So it's a one-score game late in the fourth. Obviously, our team is really close. We have to learn how to finish. I think that's the third time this year on the road against a top 10 team where we're in a tight one, and we've got to get in. We got to get in position, and we got to finish these games. So there's a lot to learn here for our team. I do think there was fight, there was effort outside of the first couple possessions on defense. And look, I think in general here, what is required to play winning football? A&M has got a really good team, and I think they did what was necessary. So no time to waste here. Obviously always a challenge to turn it around. I do think that it's a big week for us for a couple of different reasons. I do think it is homecoming. We try to do our best to educate the players on the importance of that, what they represent, who they represent, and then certainly playing an SEC opponent like Mississippi State at home. There'll be challenges with that coming off of the open date. It also is Gator-made week for us, where we take time to celebrate, in my opinion, the best player development program in the country, Savannah Bailey and her staff, and all the things that they do throughout the year to invest in our players for the long term. I do think that if you dig into the details of the experience of our players, I think it's an incredible operation, and she is she's a great leader, and she takes great pride in that program, and I know it's impacted our players in a positive way. So we'll be emphasizing that and promoting that program all week. And then here comes Mississippi State off of a bye week. I do think that Jeff Lebby's a really good coach. I think Jeff has done a great job with his offensive units in the past. They've been very productive, whether that's every stop along the way. And he's in year 2, and I think that he has turned the roster around. They have a huge number of new players. And I do think defensively they added wrinkles. I think it's year 2 as a program. You can see the improvement. They've been in some really tough SEC games the last couple of weeks against Tennessee and A&M. And I think they're tough. I think they play hard. And I respect what I see on the tape. So they've got Shapen as a vet quarterback, 2 really good backs, some speed at receiver, a tight end that's a mismatched player. And then defensively, just a lot of height, length, explosive, athletic players at first, second, and third level here. And that translates to the kicking game as well. So always a challenge when they've got an extra week to prepare for you. And then certainly for us, do we have the leadership and the maturity here to be able to flush what we experienced this weekend and start prepping for this one. So I do think there's lots of this one that are challenging, and it's going to be a big week from a leadership standpoint for the staff and our veteran players. What questions do we have?